Let's take a look at the chart action for Ethereum. Alright, so we're looking at the 4-hour time frame right now, and in yesterday's video I was watching this trend line. We had resistance, resistance, resistance. I was saying if we could break this trend line going to the upside, that's going to be a bullish signal. We actually did break to the upside. We came back down, retested it, and now we're bouncing back to the upside. If you notice, we're on the 4-hour time frame right now, and it looks like we're having some trouble on this 180 moving average right here. We came up to it, we're getting resistance on it. I think if we could break this 180 moving average sitting at 2,830, I think that's going to be our next signal that we could possibly come up to this area up here. We had resistance, 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 giving me this trend line like this. This area sitting up here is around 3,175 approximately, depending on how fast we can move up and if we don't break this trend line going to the downside. If we break this trend line going to the downside, I think that's going to be a bearish signal that we might be changing direction. The other thing I'm kind of noticing is the volume is declining. So as we're trending up, the volume's getting weaker. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen. But like I said, I'm kind of watching this 180 moving average sitting at around 2,830. If we could break above that, that'll be a good signal, as well as if we can hold on this trend line pushing to the upside. If we can continue this pushing to the upside, then I'll be kind of targeting up here as sitting at around 3,180. It really just depends on what happens when we come up here. Are we going to get rejected or are we going to push through? If we push through, then we can start targeting the previous resistances. Let's take a look at what kind of resistances we have in the past. So we have, let's go ahead and do some horizontal red lines. We had some resistance right here. We had some resistance right here. We had some resistance right here. I guess you could also argue we had resistance in this area right here. We had this big red candle going to the downside right there. So I think this would be another spot that we might want to have to break through before we can go higher, which is sitting around 3,266. First spot is this trend line. If we break through that, then I'm looking at this red line. If we break through that one, then I'm looking at this next one at around 3,819. We still have a few steps before we can get to these other levels, but these are just kind of the things that I'm looking at for possible resistance or possible support. This one might be support, this might be resistance, and these other red lines might be some resistance as well. First things first though, let's continue on this uptrend. Let's break this 4-hour 180 moving average, then we can get a little more bullish. It looks like we're testing it right now. Like I said, we're getting rejected on it, so I think if we could break above it, that'll be a good signal. Let me know what you guys think though. If you guys like this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you are new to trading, check out this video right here. It's a video about my trading strategies and how I go about trading. Alright, if you guys like the video, hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.